Hello and welcome, it's Ruth here at Artful Stampin. If it's the first time you've ever visited my channel and you like what you see, please remember to hit that subscribe button. And also, if you enjoy the video, a free, absolutely free way to support my channel is just to give me a thumbs up and also to comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you liked about this video and whether or not you're going to have a go doing this. So, welcome. I'm going to be using the Swirly Frames stamp set. This is a stamp set that I've had in my collection for quite a while and I keep coming back to it. It's really useful. It's just one of those stamp sets that is just really handy to have in the collection. And one of my good followers, Martina, requested me to use it again, and I was happy to oblige because it really is quite a good one. And also, I'm not going to apologise, but I'm going to probably be using the pigment sprinkles again because they are just such a lovely medium to work with. And I'm sorry that Stampin' Up! Are not going to be stocking it in the new catalogue, so I thought I'll make the most of it again. And again, as well, I'm going to be going for black outlines. I really like the contrast of black with colour and thought it would be good to just explore that kind of contrast and what you can be done with that very dynamic kind of look. So I've already pre-cut some card bases and I've also stamped onto some masking paper. So this is just masking paper that you can purchase from various stores. If you don't have it, don't worry about that. You could cut it out of copy paper and then put a little bit of what's the word I want? Like repositionable glue, nothing too tacky. Or if you've just got some washi tape or something, you could loop over some washi tape and stick it onto the back of a piece of copy paper. Or if you have a post-it note, or like a large size post-it note, or if you haven't got that, then the normal size post-it notes and just stuck together. That will do for this. So I want to create quite a dramatic contrast between the outside and the inside of the border. So we're going to have a very plain, well, basically it's going to be white inside, and then we're going to create a dramatic outline to it. So I'm just going to stamp my image right in the middle of my cardstock. And I am using my foam pad because it's a photopolymer stamp and it doesn't have its own kind of give in it, so sometimes it's useful to have that underneath. And then I'm just going to peel off the backing of my masking paper. She says, fiddling with it. Come on. Oh dear. It'll come eventually. Anyway, while I'm fiddling, I'll say hello to everybody who's just popped in on the live. I did see Martina come in earlier then. Hi Anna. You've been fighting with your art website for the last 2 hours. Oh dear. Can't have that, can we? Oh, there we go. It's easier to do it that way. So I'm just going to place that right in the middle, like that. Okay, now I'm going to move that off because I want to do a little bit of spraying. Just make sure I've got my spritzer. These spritz are really handy for doing kind of multimedia work, and you can put re-inker into them and then use them direct to paper, but I'm going to be using the pigment sprinkle powders here. Now you may be wondering why I've got tape over some of the holes. That's because if I didn't have that, I'd end up with too much powder on my paper. So I do want a little bit of melon. Oh, that's more than enough. A bit too much, in fact. So I'm just going to tap some of that off. I'm going to just sprinkle. I just want a few little drops of it. I don't want too much. Ooh. Just going to tap that down a bit. There we go. I don't want lots and lots. I don't want it to be too saturated with colour, because I want to be able to stamp more colour on top. So even just the smallest little bits of colour will show up, because once you spray it, I just wonder if I've got a piece of plastic. Yes, I'll just use this bit of bag. Just want to protect my paper underneath so that I don't get it completely saturated. See, look, just that little bit of powder just gives a little, just enough there. And then I'm going to get my heat tool, which is basically a very, very hot hairdryer. So don't ever, ever, ever use this on your hair. It will burn you. So, hi Janice. Nice to see you. I'm just going to give this a really quick dry. Actually, I probably should take off the... I should probably take off the excess water. And then I'll be able to reuse this again, won't I? Although I do want... No, I do need that there. What am I doing? Anyway, we'll see what happens. I'm going to try and just keep it to the edges. Okay, that's what I wanted. So then I wanted to come in with some nice bright coloured flowers, but also then contrast it with some black. So I'm going to go and use a nice bright colour for that flower there. And then I want to use a nice dark colour for that image, and then do the same with these flowers too, because I don't think I've ever done that. So I'm going to grab lovely lipstick, which is a really gorgeous bright pink. Put that one there. Oh, might even... Oh no, I want a nice bright green. Might go for Granny Apple. Just get some colour down. Okay, then just put that aside for a second. Oh, I'm just going to give that a quick wipe. I don't want it getting too stained. Oh, actually, Mango Melody. I think I'll pull that out. Yeah, it's supposed to be quite a raspberry looking shade. Now I had this idea to actually pull back then the mask and then stamp some black over the edge of the mask. I don't know if it's going to work. We'll try it and see. So I'm pulling off the mask now. I'm just going to set that to one side. And then get my black ink pad back. And then just really ink up my stamp well. It's a bit different, isn't it? So we're going to stamp up this one now as well. Does this one have dies? Abstract Impressions? No, it doesn't. Now you have to tell me whether or not you think it would have worked better if I'd left the mask on, or if you think it sort of works by taking the mask off and just having black and white on the inside of the panel. Oh, I'm sorry, Kelly, you're so right. Anna, yes, there are dies that go with this. However, they don't match, if that makes sense. They are different. Yeah, that, in my head, I just thought, are there dies that cut out this flower? No, so I'll say no. Thank you, Kelly. Sorry, you're so right. Just see if I can find it. Oh, I did have them. I'm not quite sure where they are. Oh, here they are. Yeah. Sorry, here they are. Yeah, those ones. But do you see what I mean? They don't cut out anything, if that makes sense. I mean, it kind of, that bit kind of matches that bit, but yeah, it's completely different. Yeah. Right, so I also grabbed out the soft spring because I thought some of the little stamps from here would look quite nice. So I like particularly this little leaf, and I thought that might look good. So hi Christine, nice to see you. Hi, who else has just popped in? Yes, thank you Kelly for mentioning that for me. Hi, Designing Memories. I'm sorry I can't remember of your name. Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting names. There's no new pigment sprinkles, no. I asked because you can use ordinary wafer dies to heat foil. Yeah. Ah, okay. Yeah, I don't know much about foiling, just what I occasionally see certain YouTubers use. I'm not really big into it myself. So I'd be interested to see what you come out with, Anna. Good morning, Vanessa. This looks like a Memories and More card. Oh yes, I suppose you could use this for scrapbooking. Yeah, I was just going to team it with either like peaceful moments. Actually, I have got some sympathy cards I need to make. I think that would look okay. Yes, Anna, go for it. Please do a video. Okay, so my tip is always line up your stamp so it's parallel. Especially, this is if it's a word stamp. And then, because sometimes you can put those stickers on not quite right, so you can't go by your stickers. You have to go by how parallel your words are. Oh, actually, let's see which way looks better. I think that way looks better, doesn't it? I'm going to have to just move my camera a little bit and tip it, because otherwise I'm going to bang my head. Yeah, you've been waiting a while for that, haven't you, Anna? Okay, I quite like how that's turned out. And I would like to try that with some different colours now. So we'll do that process all again and just see what it looks like then with something a bit different. Oh, that's not the card I cut. Where's all the card I cut? That's the mask I'm going to need. I just cut myself 4 pieces of cardstock and now I've lost them. Oh, there they are. Okay, let's do that all again. So I'm going to stamp my rectangle image first. Hi, Nydia. Nice to see you. Now, we've just made one card so far, and I'm going to repeat the process, but with just different colours. So I want to check that the process works. So I'm going to stamp this really big rectangle frame. Just give it a moment for all the ink to absorb in. Okay. Then I've got a masking piece to pop over the top. Now it has been wet and reheated, so it's a little bit bobbly. And then I used the yellow and the pink earlier, so let's go for a slightly different colour now. Got a bit of granny apple green here, which incidentally, granny apple green, when it comes out, looks orange. Just so you know. You have to be quite sparing with it. So I'm spreading it around a bit. So that's granny apple green, and then, oh, Bermuda Bay, let's have a little bit of that. Get my spritzer. I'm going to try and aim just for the edges. Try to move that down a little bit. Oh, that's quite dark. Ooh. Now, because I'm just using Whisper White cardstock, it does soak into the card very quickly. It's not like the Shimmer White cardstock or any other kind of shiny cardstock. The Stampin' Up! Thick really does absorb very well. So I think what I'm going to do is just remove that for a second while I dry this card off. Now I think I should have waited a little bit longer for my memento to dry, but I can see it's bled a little bit. But there we go. That's just the process, and it's what happens when you're in a bit of a hurry. Also, some of the pink has run off from my mask. So if you're wanting to have a very strict colour scheme and you don't want any mixing of colour, then use a clean mask. Don't do what I've done. But I'm not too worried. I don't mind that little bit of pink in there. Okay, I'm just going to pop my mask back on. Okay. Yeah, isopropyl might do because it would dry quicker. Yeah. Yes, I'm going to stamp on it now. So, let me get some Coastal Cabana. Yeah, I wasn't sure if Coastal was going to show up. So I did have in the back of my mind I can always grab Bermuda Bay if needs be, which is a bit darker. Don't you just love technology? It's very dark in this area here, so I don't really want to add much more. Right, so now the dramatic addition with the black. So what has everyone been making recently? Who's been in their craft rooms? can heat emboss the frame to resist the sprinkles. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yes. Yeah, you guys can always do that. You know me, when I'm doing my lives, I like to do a quick technique. So yes, of course you could do that. It would also, if it was heat embossed, it would kind of stop the water kind of coming in so much. It would act as a bit of a barrier. Now I'd like to use the leaf from Beautiful Promenade because it's such a pretty leaf. Oh, where is it? There it is. And I'm going to miss this leaf, so I'm going to try and use it as much as possible. It's just got such lovely lines in it. Oh, well done, Janice, you busy bee. Hi, Christine. You've just come out of your craft room. Oh. Hi, Jenny. Oh, mine too, Janice. Although I'm not sure, my pre-order's saying that it's supposed to get to me on Monday. And it's stuck somewhere at the moment, so I'm a little bit concerned. I think because I ended up with sort of darker splotches of the colour, I'm not as pleased as with this one as I am the other one, because it's hard to make out some of where the flowers start. But there we go, that's what I've learned from this process. Yes, I'll enjoy seeing what you've ordered. Yes, I'm well, thank you, Jenny. Yeah, it's still a little bit damp in that corner, but right, so I'll just bring back the other one. So as you can see, let's scroll out a bit. Whoop. Because I had a much lighter dusting of the pigment sprinkles, there's more definition of where the flowers are. And this one I ended up with a couple of quite dark spots, so it's not so clear. But it looks okay. Oh, I wonder if a little dragonfly would look nice there. Remember, there's also these lovely little drippy bits that I quite like using sometimes. Maybe a little bit frivolous for a sympathy card. Yeah. Okay, right. Christine says, I've been sorting out my Tonic Studios kit out and had a little play with a couple of them, an easel card and a shaker card. Oh, fantastic. Good. Oh my goodness, Christine Morgan, you're way ahead than I am. Christine's been getting on with her letters. Ah, no, actually, I've got another idea for the frames. Right, let's just do something a bit different. I want a lighter colour now, not a black. Now, what one can do is, I really love the idea of a frame with some flowers around it. So what you can do is stamp your flowers first, and then cut out a bit of a mask for them. So what have I got on my desk? Oh, I don't know what. I'll go for an orange. Go for an orange rose. Right, let's get in a bit closer now. Okay, I've just thought of this, okay, so bear with. Right, so a nice orange rose here. Have that in the corner. That'll be our kind of focal point. Oh, I need to clean my stamp. Oh dear. Can you see that? It's got a bit of ink on it. Still got a bit of blue on it. Oh, I've managed to make my Mango Melody ink pad blue now. Right, so if you've just got a cloth with water, don't use a baby wipe. If you have a cloth with water, just use that to... Oh, sorry. Right, let's turn that over. And then I'm going to get some of the masking paper. I'm going to stamp onto the masking paper. I'm just going to roughly cut that out. Oh, no, I want to stamp on top of there, yep. Get a terracotta tile. So the rose has 3 kind of steps to it. And you don't have to use all 3. You can just use 2 if you want to, but I want a nice dramatic kind of looking thing. And then I want the black. I enjoying using black at the moment. Oh, thanks, Janice. I love that you trust me so much. Right, there we go. Right. Oh, that is a bit dramatic, isn't it? Oh well, we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so let's take that off. Right, so the frame then. What colour shall we do the frame in? Maybe a brown? Go for early espresso. Yeah, the masking paper's great. A friend of mine sent it to me. I had it on my kind of wish list and thought about buying it for a while, and then a friend sent me some, so in fact it might have been my downline. Oh, great, Christine. Yeah, have a go doing that. It's really fun process. Ah, okay. My frame didn't quite... Oh well, there we go. Anyway, so let's do a few more flowers now. Make sure this is nice and clean. Where's my other flower gone? Oh, it's got to that point, ladies, where I'm literally stamping on a postage size piece of paper and got stuff piled up around me. Oh, there it is. That's the stamp. Let's get a bit of the mango. Hi, Gina. You've just missed one technique. This is the second one. So if you were being really pedantic, you could mask off all these flowers. You could stamp the flowers first and mask them all off. But for the sake of speed, I'm not doing that. Yeah, stay with us, Gina. Don't go away. Come, stay with us. You can watch the other one later. Okay, so just going to pop these dramatic. I'm not sure how they work. I don't know if it's a bit too dramatic. I might do this all again, but not do it so stark. Oh, I've got ink everywhere. Oh, we've got the 3 Christines in here now. You like to watch the replays on the daughter's big screen. Oh, fair enough. I'm just trying to tuck these leaves right in. One of my pet peeves is leaves sort of looking like they're half a mile away from a flower. So if you have to, just swipe the inside so you can tuck it right in. Hey Vicky. Oh, that's a lovely idea, Anna. Yeah, what time is it with you, Vanessa? Must be really early in the morning. Vicky's up as well. Vicky, you're up early. Well, Anna, I suggest you just give them a limited amount of product and you keep an eye on them. That's what you need to do. Right, I think it would be nice to colour in these leaves. What do you guys think? To colour in some of this. Light old olive. That might work. My leaves are always in a different time zone from the flowers until I started watching you and learnt not to ink up the entire stem. Who knew? Oh, that's so funny. I love the way you just put that. My leaves were in a different time zone. Ooh, I think I've picked up my old olive. I'm so frugal that I can't bear to throw my pens away until I'm absolutely like sure that I've got every last drop out. And the other day when my boys were using my pens, they didn't quite put them back in the same order because I put my old markers at the top so that I know to use them up. and they've all got mixed up. So I've obviously just picked up one that, I think I need to definitely throw that one away now. Right, I'm sure I bought another one. What's that one? Light Granny Apple Green. What's that one? Old Olive? No. Oh, Light Mossy Meadow. Oh, my pens have got two. What's that one? Dark Old Olive. I'm missing a light old olive somewhere. Right, let's this one. Light Mossy Meadow. Let's try that. See what that looks like. Hi Cindy, no worries. You put labels on yours. You know what? I envy you guys who have these fancy labelling machines. I have the really old-fashioned Dymo ones. Dymo one. You know, the one where you go click, click, click. And I've seen those fancy dancy ones that you guys have with your programs, and are they worth the money, do you think, Jenny? I must say, when I watch Barry and Jay from Matosu Crafts, I think, wow, they label everything, but it makes so much sense because then you can see it, you know, really easily, can't you? Oh no, that's my, hold on, what's that now? Mossy Meadow, I want to use the Granny Apple, but not Granny Apple, this is Old Olive. Oh, I'm properly running out, aren't I now? Let's see if there's anything left in the top. Nope. I think we're going to have a moment's silence for the light Old Olive marker pen. It is truly gone. There we go. My label, it's called a permanent marker. I'm pre-Gutenberger. Right, so if you don't have a splatty stamp, there's two things you can do, and I will show you both. If you've got a fairly dark pen like this, what you can do... Oh, now hold on, I've got to just change my lids back again because I swapped them. Is that you can get the brush tip end of your pen, and you can whack it fairly firmly, and you will get a sprinkling of colour. Can you see that? How close can I get? There we go. You often see them in Aldi. Oh, I will look out for one. Okay, so that's the first thing that you can do if you want a very delicate sprinkling of dottage on your work. Now, the second thing you can do is with a fine pen, you know, that's got a really sturdy tip, is actually just go in and by hand just pop some little dots in. Now, I'm a big fan of the 3 little dots. Okay, so just 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3. Then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, just very lightly. 1, 2, 3. Just pop those. And what you can do if you really want to take this to another level is kind of be looking for where there are almost, it looks a bit too white space. So like here I feel, oh, that just needs filling up. So, and here, you know, this could have had a leaf in it, but I haven't. So, you know, you just might want to fill that white space up a bit. And or down here, you might think, oh, I want to draw the eye down a little bit lower. So pop a few dots coming down. It's very subtle. Whoever's receiving the card probably won't even notice, but you'll know. You'll know that you've done that. Okay. When you have a tremor, you end up with one great big splodge. Yay! Shows it's real, you know, keeping it real. Now the other thing that you can do is get a lighter colour and create a bit of a shadow underneath the area, but I think it's fine. And you know, possibly even colour in the frame. So I'm wondering, because I didn't mask off, if I get let's have a think. Crumb cake. Have I got crumb cake? Oh, I really must sort these pens out. They're not in the order that I'm accustomed to them being in. So let's do a little bit of light crumb cake across there. Just a little bit there, as if the light's just catching the frame. And then I'm just going to colour up to the leaf and up to that flower. So I'm meeting the light crumb cake there, but I'm going to blend that in a second. There we go. Yes, very vintagey looking. A bit like last night's, was it last night? Yesterday afternoon's. No, this afternoon's stamping. Oh my goodness, I can't even remember when I'm doing stuff. This afternoon's stamping turned out quite vintagey looking, didn't it? I think it was the Blushing Bride that did it. So if you missed this afternoon's colour challenge, just a little bit of a sneaky peeky of what we did this afternoon. Look at that. Very similar vibe, isn't it? Right, go back and have a look at that one. Right, so let's do one more. Has anyone got any suggestions of what they'd like to see. I want to use that frame stamp again. So I'm wondering whether to stamp inside it this time. We haven't done that. Yes, I do, Vanessa. Yeah, I just remove the thin one and throw it away. You keep having to ask Alexa what day it is. Alexa? Yeah, I'm fortunate that my week still has a little bit of a rhythm to it. So, like, to Thursday is my son has the one that plays the piano. He has his piano lesson at 2 o'clock and he has a Welsh lesson at 11 o'clock. So that's becoming like our Thursdays. We know that happens. Fridays I have Zoom calls. So, ooh, I know what. Let's go squinty. Not done that yet, have we? There we go. Now I'm thinking this time I'm going to mask the inside, but I don't have to do anything special, I don't feel. I can just use my post-it notes. Oh, hi Denise. It's okay. Okay, so oh no, actually I want to mask this side off. Or do I? Ooh, what about this time? We have... Oh no, hold on. I've got my brain's just a little bit fried. I need to think about what I'm doing here. What about if I stamp the colour? Oh, what have I got on my desk? Where's Blushing Bright? Okay, right. Bit of Blushing Bride. There and there. Then a bit of Rococo. There. There. Night, Anna. Okay. So Blushing Bride and Rococo Rose just make the happiest couple ever. Because Rococo Rose is just like a duskier, darker version of Blushing Bride. I should have stamped off, but never mind. Right, there we go. Yeah, so my idea was that I would keep make the inside busier. I'll stuff it. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep stamping because I like it. It's my little leaf. I want my leaf. Come on. My brain's too tired now to be thinking of fancy techniques. Sorry, guys. Just going to do some second generation leaf stamping. Da, da, da. There we go. There we go. Yeah, when I'm tired, I just do happy stamping. I just go to like the ones that I know will work and that I'm happy with. All right, I'm going to bring the early espresso back and use my favourite leaf that I'm going to miss. And now I've stamped this, I'm thinking I need to stamp some darker elements to the flowers because I don't like how the leaves are kind of drawing the eye away too much. So let's be daring. Stamp that there and stamp that there. There we go. It's got to be done. Got to be done. And then I think I want something to go in the centre of these little flowers, but I'm not sure what. Oh, now I do have this stamp. This is from Perennial Birthday. It just happens to be out because I haven't put it away yet. Let's see if that will work. Oh, that's nice, Christine. I've told my husband he should play the guitar. Sometimes I get my boys to play the drum, the cajon. Well, who knew that stamp and that stamp would go together? I don't know. We have these stamp sets in our collections, don't we? For ages and ages. I'm speaking to the demonstrators out there now. And then we go, oh, it's retiring. Look what we've discovered. Look how that works. Oh, am I going to be able to get my little droplets in? What do you think, ladies? Shall I do it? Even if I just ink up a little section of them. This is one of my most favourite things to do with these stamps. Okay, so I want the droplets. I know the frame is on a tilt, but I want the droplets to go with gravity. Okay, so if I ink it up like that, that will connect there. There we go. You see, even though we're creating whatever we want, we still have to abide by the laws of gravity. Because otherwise it just won't make sense when we look at it. Oh, oh, bliss. Bliss are some gemmy droplets. Oh. I'm going to have to find a replacement for this stamp. I'm going to scour through the catalogue and find out which one it was. Or which one is going to replace it, rather. Oh, it's just so adorable. just look like jewels, don't they? Hanging. So pretty. Right, I'm missing all your comments because I'm just a bit absorbed. Right. Oh, God. So Denise is driving, so can't text. No, you better not text, Denise. Naughty. Cindy's saying, I like things off kilter, like me. Oh, yeah, Cindy. Nice. One subtle and the other brighter. Anna's going to bed. Oh, she's got to go oh, you got to go to church for recording. Okay, Kelly. Have a good time. Did you see the guy in the front garden playing the trumpet in Wales? No. Wales is a big place, Vanessa. But it might be on the news. I will check it out. How about some vines hanging along the remaining frame? Some vines. Do you mean leaves or droplet things? What time is it for you? You're 5 hours ahead. Yes, we're about 5 hours ahead. Trying to make a birthday card for my mother-in-law. What do you get for a bucket woman? Do you mean a bouquet? A hyacinth bouquet. Oh my goodness, I've been watching Keeping Up Appearances recently, and there was an episode I watched where she refuses to like open envelopes because she said, you don't know who may have licked it. That was so funny. I thought, oh my gosh, I should so tape that and put that on Facebook because that is so now. Oh. It's a magical card. You're more like Daisy. That's funny, Vanessa. Oh, I know. Richard is hilarious. I've just watched the episode where she thinks her neighbour's having an affair, and it turns out to be the brother. And then she gets really excited because he's a musician. And it honestly, no, it's Patricia Routledge, isn't it, who plays Hyacinth? Honestly, she is a master of performance because in the scene she's playing this pent up tight woman who, you know, is terrified that her neighbour might be having an affair and, you know, it's going to bring down the cost of her, you know, the value of her home. And then she's jumping around the front room and hugging her husband because this guy next door is a musician and she's just so happy. And almost it's like she's in love with him. You know, it's fascinating to watch. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Make a card and distress it heavily, and the envelope will. He's on YouTube with over 1 million views. Oh, is that what I need to do to get 1 million views? I need to play the trumpet. Yeah, she sings at him. Yeah, I was just at that bit, Kate, and then I had to have my tea, so I'm gonna have to rewind it a bit because I wasn't taking note. Oh, it's just, oh yeah, just brilliant. Right, okay, sorry, I digress then. Excuse me. Right, let's get all these back. So the challenge for me was to use the large swirly frame stamp because Martina has been struggling with it. She said, what do I do with that big frame? So I'm hoping that this has given you a few ideas, although I've gone and lost one of them now. I know what, let me get all my stamps. Oh, I didn't end up using that one because I've ended up stamping with Deeper Sympathy quite a bit, haven't I? Oh, there it is. Right. So let's pull you out. Clear a space. So we started with that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And we used swirly frames. Now, if you don't have swirly frames, you can always just draw lines. That, you know, A ruler and a pen. Who knew? I'm being so cheeky. I'm sorry. Yes, a pen and a pencil, a pen and a ruler. we'll create that for you. And then a post-it note stuck together. You know, maybe trim to whatever rectangle shape you want. Ooh, sorry. Would do that. And then mask it off. Dribble some sprinkles. Give it a spray. And then stamp your stamps. So I was experimenting with the idea with these two. The idea of having the colour on the outside and then black and white on the inside. So I will show you these in better detail. So there we go. See how that works. So that was with the yellow pigment sprinkles and the melon mambo, but very lightly melon mambo. And then this one was with the granny apple green and the yellow pigment. No. Granny apple green and the Bermuda Bay pigment sprinkles. Okay. Then 3, we masked off the rose first before stamping the rest of the frame. And if you wanted to be that strict, you could also mask off, you know, like this portion here. You know, I'm not actually that happy with this, with the frame going over the flower. So if you wanted to mask that off, then I suggest you do that too. Oh gosh, and if you're being really pedantic, you could mask off the leaves. So you'd have to kind of stamp your whole floral little arrangement first, and then keep masking off areas as you want to. Okay, this is just thick whisper white, Jenny, unless you're answering a question. Are you asking me what did I use? Yeah, this is just thick whisper white. Oh, hello, Laura. Didn't see you there. And then this is just having fun with the frame and stamping and my darling little gemmy things hanging. There we go. Yeah, no, this is just thick whisper white. Yeah, and I was saying that it absorbs the colour really quickly. Which set has the fairy spit? Do you mean this? Do you call this the fairy spit? Or do you mean the fairy dust? Do you mean the how did I do this? My fairy dusting. I did it with a pen and just like whacked the pen over the top. And created that. And then I went back in and did the 3 little dot technique. You just do 3 little dots all over the place. So, yeah, so I think I may actually stamp this one up with a sympathy as well. If it'll fit in. Oh, yes, just about. Yeah, sadly, I've had a few friends who've been bereaved recently, so I need to make quite a few of these. The hanging spittle. I will come on to that now. Let me just get this stamped and then... There we go. Right, so the stamp sets that you will need if you want to do it exactly like I have are Swirly Frames, the leaf from Soft Spring, but you could use something else, I'm sure. Beautiful Promenade, which was for the second, oh no, for the leaf and the hanging droplets. And then Abstract Impressions for the rose and the flower. So I used those 2 for these ones, and then I did all 3 for that one. Okay. Oh, I love you, Cindy. You just stay you. And then I did use the pens, the alcohol pens, to colour in the leaves as well. That worked. I need the Swirly Frames. No, Swirly Frames is staying, everybody. So don't panic. Don't rush to buy this. Although, you know, obviously get it as soon as you want to use it. Swirly Frames is staying. Soft Spring is a host set that's going to be leaving us. Now, I have said this a couple of times, but I'll just remind those of you who place orders with me, if there are stamp sets that you see me using and you think you would like them, if they're retiring and you don't get a chance to order them, drop me a note, because when you place an order with me with the new catalogue, I like to send out gifts to my customers, and I'd rather send you a gift of something that you would like to use. So if you see me using something and you know for sure it's retiring, then I won't be offended if you just drop me a note and say, Ruth, do you mind just reserving such and such and such for me? Now, it's worth having a list of about 5 stamp sets, because I would like to be able to give at least one stamp set that you would like, and it might be that that stamp set turns up on a few people's lists. So if I have a list of, say, 5 from various customers, then I can try and make sure that everyone gets at least one that they like. All right. So once these are retired, I'm going to be getting rid of a lot of these. So sorry, guys who can't shop with me. I'm sorry about that. But I do have a few online customers who I know follow my YouTube. Just a little reminder to them. Right, there we go. Right, I didn't see what your favourites were. Right, so Cindy likes number 4. Jenny likes the first 2. Kay likes the 4, the simplicity of the... Yes, that's a very K one, actually. Christine likes 4, 1, 2, 3. 3 and 4. There we go. So sometimes it's nice to work with having a border that's there for you, and it's a technique, or what's the word I want? A layout. That's the word. A layout that I want to encourage people who perhaps are beginner stampers to not be afraid of revisiting time and time again, because once you have that little border there, it really helps in card making to focus your mind, so that you're not worried about, oh, where's this going to go? Where's that going to go? If the border's in place, the border will tell you where to stamp or where to put your detail. Okay. You're very welcome, Cindy. It's really lovely to have your company. So please remember, guys, give me a thumbs up. You can support me really completely freely by giving me a thumbs up. And if you want to support me financially and you can't shop with me, remember there's always Super Chat and PayPal. I'm not what's the word? The facilities are there because there are people who follow me who would like to give, and that's why they're there. It's not me making you give. It's just there because people want to. And then obviously, if you can shop with me in the UK, then that'd be fantastic. And do let me know if you would like a copy of the new catalogue. If you haven't shopped with me recently, if you've shopped with me in the last 6 months, you will automatically get a catalogue from me. Don't you worry. And I need to start putting together my list of people to send those to, because they're going to be on their way soon. So lots of love to you all, and hopefully I'll come back again tomorrow with another idea. I'm always surprised at the way I think up with ideas, because I've been doing this a long time, but I just think it goes to show that the quality of the stamp sets and the quality of the product just means that you never run out of ideas, really, which is great. You got your catalogue! Woohoo! Vanessa would like a catalogue. Okay, Vanessa, no problem. Drop me a line if you haven't shopped with me in the last 6 months. Just email me, ruthtrice@gmail.com. So I'll put that in the chat. I know we are in touch, aren't we? I know you've emailed me before, I think, Vanessa. But you like the black and white technique. It reminds me of a Photoshop trick. Oh, yes. Yeah. It reminds me of those kind of like magic cards where you can like, it's black and white and you pull it out and it's colour. Yeah, that's what it kind of reminds me of, but it's just, simple stamping. I'm gonna hashtag this, simple stamping. because it's all the rage at the moment. Stampin' Up! Are really encouraging us to do simple stamping. And this is, technically this falls into simple stamping, doesn't it? It's just stamping. So there we go. Right, if there's no more questions, I'm going to go. I'm going to love you and leave you, and catch you guys again. And please remember to give me a thumbs up. Lots of love. Bye.